Today we are on, if you can remember, we are on episode number 3. We looked at about the why of your business in the first session, if you remember. That was on 21st, where we looked at the, you, before you even start a business, who are you? Why are you? Why do you want to start this business? And the session number 2 was the business model. We understood that, how does a business make money? How does a business lose money? So today and the next session will be really about the operations. Now that you're running the business, what do you concern with yourself throughout the day? Yeah, you could be a team of one person. I remember when I started my pharmacy in 2007, I was the delivery guy, I was the picking guy, I was the one handling the patient, I was the one filing returns and all those things. Those days there was no e-teams. Yeah, so but all those things need to be documented as a process, and that's really what we are looking at. And once you document a process, you're able then to improve. If it's not documented, it didn't happen, number one. If it's not documented, it can't be improved because you need to analyze it, as we read and learn today. So allow me to get into the session for today. All right. Objective today, I'd like to create awareness on the importance of business processes, improvement in your business, and highlight key elements of business process management, KPIs, and dashboards. And take any questions that you may have. Recap, we've already looked at the strategic dimensions of business in the first 2 sessions, designing and planning for growth. Now we'll be shifting to execution and operations side, as I said earlier. So what is a business process? Yeah. And all of you are, if you are a pharmacist or a pharmaceutical technologist, you must understand something called an SOP. Yeah. It's really a big element of what business process is. So what's a business process? It's an orderly series of steps, activities, yeah, or operations that input into your business, and on the other side you get what? The output. Yeah. Who is a satisfied customer? Remember in the last meeting, a satisfied customer in the business factory we discussed last week. A satisfied customer who goes out and refers their families and friends to you, and they come back the next time. Yeah, they say, wow, that place, I love it. I love to go there because the person is knowledgeable. I see sometimes they come to our church and give a talk about this. So all those you need to now look and say, how do we put them into a process so that this thing happens, like clockwork. It's not ad hoc. A business process is not ad hoc. Yeah, it can't be just something you feel like doing today, tomorrow you don't do. By the end of the month, the results will tell you. Yeah, you'll have answers. Yeah, your sales will be either going up or going down or stagnating. You remember we did the graph showing the lifespan of a business. It starts and grows. Sometimes it stagnates until you think again and keep growing upwards. Yeah. It's not personality dependent. Many of you will say, I'm a pharmacist, why do I have to deal with financials? Yeah. I'm a farm tech, hizi maneno za details ni za watiaji. Those are those kind of people who wanapenda details. It's not for us, yeah. Stuck up people, but really it's not personality dependent. It's about, what must be done so that this thing keeps growing, not by chance. Those of you who are raised in my generation, we used to say we were growing like weeds. Their parents used to say, watoto wetu wanakuwa kama weeds. Yeah, you don't want your business to grow like weeds, because you know what happens to weeds? They get cut. Yeah, you don't want that. A business process will help you lower your costs. So you're looking at, how do we lower costs? How do we reduce risk? Yeah. The government is coming around, cracking down on unregistered. So how do we eliminate the risk? We ensure we are registered. Product safety, your service and your product. How safe is it? Is there a process that is inbuilt so that, I dispensed this medicine that was a lookalike. How do I prevent that happening? There should be a process that picks it and ensures that it's called product safety. How do you improve predictability? Some of you were asking me last week, which system do you use? There's Pharmaco, there's QuickBooks. how do you go into the system and quickly determine what should I order? Yeah, because the system should be able predictably know you sold this, today is X number of day, another client should be coming, and how do you ensure qualities? When a client comes in, how do you ensure that they are received with a smile? How do you ensure that they are asked the same, questions that make them feel at home and are reflective of your brand? And how do you ensure that the process is consistent? Yeah, because that all will live and build your brand. Yeah, remember, you're building your brand as a trusted uh, provider of quality, affordable healthcare services, and as a pharmacist or pharmaceutical technologist, and you're the first line of contact. So how mature is your business process environment where you're working? Remember, when I started the saying, I was the delivery guy, I was the one handling patients, I was all those things. At least I had a sink. When I finish delivering, I wash my hands and go handle the patients. Yeah. But that's how all of us start, or majority of us, unless you work for a chain and things like that. So you come, and in Kenya today, majority of the pharmacies are owned by independent, practitioners. Yeah. So that means it's not a chain. A chain will probably be level what? Where do you think a chain pharmacy will be? There are some chain pharmacies that still do kienyeji. So what level will those be? Maybe level 2. There are some chains, you know them, their processes are very clear. Sometimes even you say they are very rigid. They're level 5. Yeah. A client came and wasn't in the system, they can't get a certain discount, things like that. Yeah. Those are systems that are very good, documented processes, fully deployed, universally used. They are measured. Meetings are had every week, and in those meetings, measures are made to improve. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, because there are also some that data comes in and data doesn't make any impact. Yeah, a client came, they complained of something, or the client came and said they were really happy about this, but the business doesn't know all that. Yeah, so you can be having systems, but you haven't really fully deployed or universally used them to measure. So you lie in between that process. Yeah, that business process environment. Yeah. Um, so looking at that, mko wapi majority on the chart? Level 0, level 5. Where do you think you are? Let me look on the chart. Yeah. On the chart, any yeah. Level 3, yeah. Thanks for the someone level 4. You're really self-aware. And remember, wherever you are, see mwisho, it's not the end. You need to, that's why we are learning, so that we can see how then to keep improving. Yeah, majority of you are on that mid-range between 3 4. Yeah, that's why I'm seeing majority of you also seeing level 2 documents are documented. Some of you have documented them for PPB or whoever usually comes, but then you never even look at them to look at. So let's see why are these processes important? Yeah, so these are the benefits of a strong process environment. It enables for efficiency, productivity. Yeah. You have your staff there saying, oh, boss, every time we receive goods, we have to, there's this bottleneck in the process that makes the orders remain out there. So how are you looking at that and improving the efficiency? Yeah. How are you using the most, staff will keep coming to you and tell you, oh, we need another person. But what's informing the other person? Is this just a gut feeling? Oh, boss, we see the more clients at this tower. So, so how then do we make the most use of that? Consistency, it helps stakeholder satisfaction. I'm able to know, even me as an employee of your pharmacy, what my role is. There's nothing as bad as being in a pharmacy, you're serving patients, and you have no clue what to do next or to do about this. It's, when you are handling a patient, you need to have a level of confidence. So if you're always, second guessing yourself, the patient will see through you, and they'll actually say, there's something off about this. They might not even be able to pick it. So that's why it's important to have processes of, and I'm not saying that you go and have, go and, get fake confidence. No, just when a process happens, please admit that this didn't go well. Then quickly have a meeting in the weekly meeting or something like that. Then see how we can improve. Then next month or the next week, then we know what to do, and then we're able to scale. So some of you would like to start a chain of pharmacy or two or something like that, but you are scaling dysfunction. Yeah. The same chaos here will be now 10 times. You're not paying suppliers on time and all those things. You don't want to be there. Yeah. So why do processes struggle? Yeah. So before we answer that question, let's look at what's the process of making a peanut butter sandwich. Yeah. First, you must have bought the peanut butter, and you must have bought, if jam you want to add there, you want to have meat, you must have bought those things. Yeah. You can't say we're going to make a peanut butter sandwich, and every time clients come to your pharmacy, you're always ordering. You say, ngoja hizo dawa tunaorder kwa our another branch, but you're just buying the pharmacy next door. So your process should have seen and said, okay, we get this number of orders of these things. I should be able to stock. Yeah. Not end of the week, you should be able to say, out of 10 orders, I missed 6. Yeah. So that, something is wrong there. Why did you miss 6? Oh, because we didn't order well. Or because there's a new prescriber on the other side and we haven't visited them to tell them what we have, or be able to hear what is it that they stock. You understand? So even the same way you make your peanut butter sandwich is the same way you run your business with a process. You can't start making a peanut butter sandwich without it. You can't serve a patient who lives there happy and is referring you to others without having had processes that considers that patient, anticipates where they're coming from. You remember when we say, where do your customers come from? So all those is now what you put into a process. Yeah. And then you'll say, making a peanut butter sandwich takes 10 minutes. But then do you know making a peanut butter sandwich can take 10 hours? Yeah. Because, we have to go look for the money to go buy, from the time you want it. So the same thing, some of you are handling patients and it takes you 10 hours to serve a patient. The patient walked in, it takes them 30 hours. Sometimes they're repeat customers, they take Tell Me H and you have not have it in stock. It's towards end month. That's when they come. Yeah. So what are the processes that you put in place? That's now where we come to process mapping and improvement. So process mapping, and I mean, this is not something new to pharmacists and pharmaceutical technologies. All your hospitals or your pharmacies have an SOP. Yeah. But what usually misses is your SOP is mostly just inside here. Yeah. Your SOP doesn't look outside. The patient came from somewhere. They came from a prescriber. They came from walk-in, from an estate. Yeah. Have you gone ahead and decided and, met them and seen what are their needs? So that's what usually misses. So we're very strong inside here, inside the hospital, but we miss out outside, that the patient actually belonged in a community somewhere and they're coming from outside there. So process mapping is a technique that captures and draws out activities and workflows together in order to give you the desired outputs. Yeah, it's actually like a visual representation. Yeah. So if I'm an intern, I'm an intern and I'm working in your pharmacy, I'm able to quickly know, what are the ins and outs of running and serving our patient. Some of you handle your processes as if they are trade secrets. Now the problem with that is every time your team handles a patient, they have to come back and ask. The problem with that is you kill the confidence that your customers will have with you. Yeah. And essentially now what you start wondering, why are clients not coming? Or why am I so stressed? Yeah. I'm the one who kings in the invoice. I'm the one who goes talks to the patients outside. I'm the one, like that. There's no delegation. And what process mapping does for you, it helps you to empower your team. So what do you have SOPs? How many of you have SOPs? Not even SOPs. How many of you have SOPs and you meet regularly to discuss based on, the different steps. What are you seeing? Yeah, so that you can do something called process improvement, which is the methodology of identifying, analyzing, and improving an existing business process within your business. Remember, we said that business grows like this, but then it can plateau and it can even die. Yeah. So, how often do you meet? So, my question here for you is, yes, I know you have SOPs. I'm sure all of you have SOPs. The question is, how often do you meet to discuss these processes? Someone is asking, how can you meet when I know someone is asking this question. How can you meet and you are a one-man practice? Occasionally, so maybe that's once every month, once every 2 months. And I think some of the biggest challenge we have is, yes, you meet, but what do you discuss? So that's where we'll be going next. Performance management. So even if you're a one-man show, you must meet with yourself and determine what is the goal of this business. Yeah. The goal of business is to make customers happy. So how do we make customers happy? Oh, we need to order what they need. How do we know what they need? Oh, I need to go where they come from. Where do they come from? They come from the prescribers. So I need to go meet the doctor X and Y or the clinical officer so that I can be able to stock what they need. Yeah. Or I can be able to go to the next estate and be able to let them know that I'm here, then you are measuring those things. Yeah? And I'll show you why there are different kinds of measurements. There's some measurements that you'll do, you only determine, you'll only know whether you made them at the end of the month. But there's some measurements you do, you'll know, hey, if I have not visited that doctor or that estate, I will not get, the end of the month will come and it will find me not in a good place. I don't have money to pay my suppliers, my employees, and things like that. Yeah. But there's some measurements that you will only know when the month ends. Did you meet your targets or not? Yeah. So performance management involves creation and implement of systems, processes, and practices that ensure that you achieve your organizational goals. Remember, you had a goal. Why did you start your business? There are things that now you must measure. They're called KPIs. Yeah. And the question there is, are you using those KPIs to make the decisions? And are you improving the processes? Because sometimes people say this process has been done this way. But processes can also be improved and they can be changed. Yeah. And that's the why you meet. Yeah. So do you have these, and how are they guiding your decision making? Yeah. And are you making them strategically? Are they improving your operations? Yeah. So those are the questions you need to have. Before I go to, I think that will be the next slide. What do you discuss in the meetings? Yeah, even if the meetings is within yourself. Huh? Let me take you through the performance management cycle. Yeah, you came up with a strategy. Where are we starting the pharmacy? Yeah, and what are the KPIs that we need to do to be able to get to make those strategic decisions? We want to be the you know have the most customer satisfaction pharmacy in our neighborhood. So what are the parameters that build on customer satisfaction? Those are the KPIs. Yeah. Order fill rate of, whenever a customer comes and they ask for something, 9 out of 10 of the times we will have that something. Then go back. What then drives that? What informs that? Yeah. Oh, we need to order from X number of suppliers, or X, how many times in a month or a day. Yeah. Okay. As you implement that, you need to measure how many times and then as you meet every week or every day, determine how was the day. Oh, don't go into a meeting and you're asking the question, how was the day? Then people are saying, oh, I ate my mandazi, it was nice, I was bloated, no, that's not the question that you're asking. Yeah. Or someone gives you some, what do you call it? Gossip. Oh, did you hear the 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 shop next door? You know what they did? That's not the time to discuss these things. These are serious meetings. You need to be discussing numbers. Yeah. The things that build up to why we are here. If you don't discuss those things, end month will come and you won't have a business, you'll be locked out, and your business will struggle, and your story will always be, oh, this business, there's no business. Well, the quacks out there are really doing business. Yeah. So it's important to you meet, are you discussing daily? There are things you must discuss daily. There are things you must discuss weekly. There are some things you must discuss quarterly or monthly. And the quarterly and monthly, those are a bit far, strategic ones. You know, are we going where we are meant to be going? Yeah. But daily is, we said we will do this week. Have we done it? Yeah. Have we monitored? Have we done customer survey? Those are the things that you discuss. And what has the survey done? Come back. What does it say? So that we can be able to make changes. Yeah. So how frequently on your right should you be meeting? And in the meeting, what are you discussing? Is what we just maybe gone through, but this just summarizes it. Huh? So daily, so here are the boss. Remember, we said this, in whether you're one person in your team or 20, the process is the same. In that one person team, there's the team, there's the department, and there's the executive, the owner. Yeah. So there's some discussion you will have, but you know, you as the owner, maybe everything is just kept here. Yeah. But it's good also to document and say these things I'll discuss and review and reflect on every month. What are those things? Yeah. Departmentally. Yeah. Your and the department here could be, you know, for you it could be the CNS medicines, it could be the over-the-counter medicines, you know, things like that. Yeah. How are they performing? Yeah. And the day-to-day, you know, you are reviewing and saying, you know, how are the where are the bottlenecks? Where are customers saying they're really happy about this, and how can we improve that? Changes we made last week, how are they being received? Yeah, because you can, just because you made a change doesn't mean you have to stick with it. You can also rechange it again. Yeah, because as you do that, then you spice up and improve your processes. Identification of indicators. Yeah, so we remember we said that we have KPIs. And I said there are two types of KPIs. There's a leading KPI and a lagging KPI. A leading KPI, let me start with the lagging one. A lagging one is what we most commonly know. Yeah. What is the most common thing you measure in your pharmacy? Let me put it on the chart. Total what? Yeah. What are the common things you can put on charts that you measure in your pharmacy? Total, customer seen at the end of the day, total sales made. Yeah. You can even do total per staff. Yeah. Total purchases. Those are what we call lagging. Because at the end of the day, you'll be able to measure and say, zilifanyika hivyo ama zikufanyika. Then there's something that is called a leading indicator. Yeah. A leading indicator is something that influences future performance. You know, you should be having sales of 1 million to be able to pay that rent, pay the employee, and break even. Yeah. That is okay. That you'll only know at the end of the month. That's a lagging indicator. Now, what are the things you must do to ensure that when end month comes, you meet the target or even do better? Yeah. There are things like the number of times, before I answer that, I want you guys to give me, there's some examples I put down there. Net profit margin. Is it a leading or lagging indicator? Employee absenteeism rate. Jamila, thanks you, Doctor. A leading indicator, yeah. So remember, you're in your pharmacy and you're just giving discounts. Eh? At the end of the month, you go look at your sales. You see, you have achieved sales 1 million, but then you look and determine umelipa suppliers pesa yao. Ukiangalia, oh, hata sina let's say I only have 100,000. That means in a community pharmacy, you sold 1 million and now you only have 10% as profit, as your gross profit. Aujalipa rent, aujalipa staff, yeah, the struggle, yeah. Because for you to have a good operation, you should have a 25, 20, 30%. If you're in a mall, maybe even 35% profit margin. Or else, so what are these things that you need to do? So I would beg to say the net profit margin is a lagging indicator. You'll know only at the end, but there are things you must do. You must ensure that you buy right so that you have good profit margin. How are you buying? Are you buying from the right supplier? Yeah. Have you locked in the system? Not everyone can give discounts because your staff just wanted, you told them, I'll give you a bonus if you make 1 million. But now wamepeana 2 discounts. Yeah. So you need to track. Yeah. What are these leading indicators now that will ensure ukifika huko mwisho, hautafika they say when the people are swimming in the beach, once the tide goes, you'll know who was swimming naked and who was having a swimming costume because you will see all of them. Yeah. So that's what a leading indicator is. A leading, everyone is in the beach, in the water, swimming, and they look like see, the lagging indicator is the number of people swimming and they are smiling. But now, a leading indicator is walibeba swimming costume, walijipanga. So a leading indicator is ni kujipanga. Yes. Net profit you'll know at the end of the month. Yeah. Or at the end of the day. But what are these things that you're doing that are leading towards your profit being the right profit that you need? Employee absenteeism. Yeah. Lagging indicator will be the employee turnover rate. But kuna kitu inaitwa employee absenteeism rate. So what are you doing in between there? Engaging your staff. Are you giving them 10 o'clock tea? Maybe, or even engaging them to understand they only went to your competitor because he gives them 10 o'clock tea. Yeah. Wewe hata una habari wanakunywanga chai. Yeah. Unadhani kila mtu ni mbao, ni kupapaswa tu na nini, na vanish. Yeah. Delivery times, product delivery times. You can't be just telling your customer, we will give you a medicine tomorrow. You should be able to ensure that your things are done in the right timely fashion. Yeah. So in your indicators, look for indicators for your customers, for finance, operations. Are you efficient? And people. That's why you're looking at employee absenteeism rate. If your employees are not there, what will happen? Your customers won't be served and you'll be stressed. Yeah. So these are examples. I lifted these examples from a business I was coaching. I just wanted to show you an example of, when you are meeting, what are you looking at? So there are indicators, like we've said, and I'll show you more. But then there's something what we call a dashboard. Yeah. A dashboard gives you a visual, you remember there are things that you had to do as the owner. Let me go back here. Remember the things that you're meant to do monthly. And maybe the thing you're meant to do weekly. And the thing you're meant to do daily. There needs to be something that's called a dashboard. And those of you who are using maybe Pharma Code, there's a dashboard you usually see there. Yeah. It tells you the sales, things like that. So there should be maybe you have an accountant on a prepare financials dashboard. How does that look like? Your customer acquisition, yeah. What are the things that how are you performing? Because it's just a summary, yeah. People and culture, marketing, partnerships, IT, legal, and governance. Those are the big ones that if you're running a pharmacy, you need to be, and supply chain, you need to be on top of, even if you're one person or even if you're 20. Yeah. You need to have a visual representation that gives you a summary of your scorecard. How did you do this quarter? How did you do this month? Yeah. Sorry, I had to delete this. They filled that one so that I don't show you the business I was coaching. But then, so you have supply chain. How KPI to measure there is, order fill rates. Yeah. I have 2 or 3 suppliers. When I order, they only have 6 out of what I need. So maybe you only have 1 supplier and they only have 6 of what you need. So maybe you need to increase the number of suppliers. That will be when you're meeting, you will decide that. Yeah. And you can give the color coding, something that's not going well. It's in the middle of something that's bad can be red. Yeah. Something that is yellow, it's midway there, and green means you're doing well. Yeah. So you just use that and you score your how you're doing on a scale of 1 to 10. Yeah. And you can give a narrative on the part for updates. the team satisfaction. There are things that you're meant to be doing there, and how are you performing based on that. So these are what, so the person I was coaching was running a hospital, and there, so they have outpatient, a pharmacy, lab, radiology, dental, maternity, and theater. Yeah, they have the turnover that they did. Yeah, and there's that performance. So they are looking to see what will they do this year. Again, these are things called lagging indicators. They will only be known at the end. But there are things that you need to be discussing that, did we onboard insurance companies? Maybe if you are really concerned with that, because that will affect whether you reach these numbers or not. Yeah. So that's now, did we get insurance companies becomes number of insurance companies gotten or number of insurance client visits done this month. Those are leading indicators, because if you do them, you'll have a good lagging indicator. Yeah. And please write these things down. You can even look them up more. Yeah. Other examples of lagging indicators, if maybe you're in a hospital and you serve an NHIF, how many members have you enrolled onto NHIF? Remember, they didn't buy, but you enrolled them. Because you enrolled them, chances are now they'll come and buy. And if they come and buy, what will happen to your lagging indicators? They will improve. Remember, lagging means uko mwisho zitajulikana. Yeah, when the tide goes down, you'll know who has swimming costume and who doesn't have. Yeah, because of the things that you are doing. So, in conclusion, I don't know how we're doing on time. Yeah, every business must have a dashboard, and every business must be able to be meeting. And I know I finished a bit early. There's something, just 5 minutes if you give me. I wanted to take you through, if maybe you have a team of 5 or 3 people, when you meet, what should you be discussing? It's on another presentation, yeah. But as I conclude, I'll come back to the conclusion slide. When you're meeting, your meeting should have an agenda, yeah. Don't just go there and it's just stories, yeah. Of course, it's good to know how people are doing, because you remember they're a team. Because also ukiwasukuma sana, wasema boss tu wako na ni zake tu, yeye zake ni pesa tu. So wajulie hali, how are they doing? You'll know a thing or two, yeah, and it softens the space. Yeah? Then go deep into the plans. How are your people doing? What are the processes, the profit, things like that. How are we doing in all those things, all those 5 things that you wanted to focus on? Each department should go around and talk about their things. What are patient facing, cashier, all those guys, yeah. And you should be, as you're doing that, you should be tracking and presenting something, and there should be someone who's taking minutes. So there should be, these are the meeting best practice. There should be an agenda. It should start on time. There should be someone documenting and someone presenting the summary. Never go into a meeting, someone didn't sit down and collect the information and present it in a certain way to present to the team. Because you will be wasting everyone's time, and your meeting it has just meander like that, and you won't get good things out. In the meeting, delegate. Please don't be the only one who has to do everything. Yeah. If it's an ad hoc meeting, there should be a certain agenda for it. Yeah. And there should be owners of the meeting. Client-facing team members, the guys who are doing procurement, all those things, yeah. Delivering, if you're doing online and things like that. And there's something called a learn temperature check. I'll share that, yeah. Learn means, what have we learned? What are we excited about? So you as the owner of the meeting, and sometimes you as the owner of the business, doesn't mean that you must be the owner of the meeting. Delegate to someone else to be the owner of the meeting, yeah. What have we learned? I've, discussed that. Or by the end of the meeting, they should have been, when you look at this, you should have touch on everything. What have we learned? What are we excited about? What are we anxious about? If you're in a meeting and there is no something that comes out that makes you anxious, know there's something wrong. It can't be in all your meetings, everything is okay. Just know wanaku manage. Your team members are managing you. Yeah. There should always be something that's okay. We are worried about this, and then you can, improve on this. If you don't, the people are just mark timing and they'll go to your competitor. What are your reflections? What are the things that you said you do? And what are the next steps? What are we saying that we will do? There should be a timetable for meetings, one-on-one meetings. If you are the boss and you meet with certain people, you're the head of the department and you meet with other people, one-on-one meetings. weekly staff meetings, bi-weekly departmental, monthly meetings, senior management meetings, and so on, yeah? And who are the people to attend? So that's a template that you can just take a picture. I'll even share, and you'll have that, yeah? There should be matrices you are discussing, and what's your annual revenue, month-on-month revenue? Are we on target? What's the gap? What's the profit? Remember, you don't want to be at the end of the month is when you're realizing, wow, we gave discounts to everyone, we have no money left. Supplier has taken their money, landlord has taken their money, we don't have money to pay our salaries. Yeah. Number of staff, number of clients, walk-in, external referrals, so that you can know who to go talk to. Where did the customer come from? You are there, you're running a pharmacy, you don't know that your customers come from that estate, or you come from even pipeline and you're in Syokimau. Number of insurance companies. How comes you're not getting clients from this insurance company? Yeah. What's your conversion? You're in a hospital and you're running, you're in the hospital, but patients are all leaving and going to buy medicine from the pharmacy next door. You will be concerned as a pharmacy team in the hospital. Yeah. Or, you are the pharmacy next door and you are the one who's getting referrals from the hospital. It should also concern you, because one day they'll get someone who's serious in the hospital and that flow of clients won't come. So you should be able to have, what are the things I should be doing? Yeah. Are you getting new clients? Are you getting repeat clients? Yeah. And how are you doing versus last year? This template usually looks at, as you're meeting, your team members will tell you, sales are still growing well, or there's a new competitor who has started, there's someone who has started a pharmacy next door, there are wholesalers who are retailing. So it's, these are the things that you have happening. That's why numbers are going. So you as the owner then picks all this and see craft strategies. Okay. Yes, I know there are wholesalers who are retailing, but how else then can I, what else, what is in my power? Yeah. What value can I add to my customers? Yeah. So that you're not just defensive, or so there are things you can control. Like now we were saying there were quacks, and soon we are hoping that quacks will be a thing of the past. Yeah. Because of maybe your society PSK has had, and these are the things that we are doing. Yeah. And of course, everyone should lead the departments. They should have their leading and lagging indicators. Everyone should have a dashboard. It should look at the critical indicators, is what you have said. The indicators should cover the different dimensions of your business: customer, finance, operational efficiency, things like that. The indicators should be easy to measure. You should quickly be able to say, hey, how are you doing in terms of visiting the insurance companies? Oh, we are 5%. We are 5 out of 10. The team should be quickly to, you remember here where we were saying, how do you rate here? You rate there in terms of partnerships. Insurance company visited, we said we'll do 5 insurance companies. Where are we today? We are at 6 out of 10, because we visited X number out of the one we said we would. And so we are orange. We are not red. We are moving towards green. Yeah. And so on and so forth. Reporting frequency should reflect where the business is and changes in flight. Yeah. Sometimes things are happening in a crisis. So it means meetings should be happening even every day. Yeah. And the dashboard should be easy to read and understand and interpret. Yeah. So even someone who's dyslexia and apenangi kusoma, anaona kuna red, kuna green na yellow. So anajua how are we doing. Kama kuna ma-red mingi, supply chain kuna shida. Kama kuna ma-yellow mingi, kuna mtu anatumanage. Au kama kuna ma-green mingi, okay, hii team inafaa kupewa bigger challenges. Si ndio? There we are. We've looked about strategy, people, personal and business leadership. Look at the business model, process and performance management. And remember, these are things that we do coaching for. There's still more. You can go even look for dive deeper. I was just meant to introduce these topics to you and even make them conceptually easier for you to understand in your business. Next week, we'll delve into financials and cash flow management. And there I'll also delve, I'll maybe try to just make it simpler. What are these 3 books?